Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Culture Mix. We got another good episode today. We're gonna start off by introducing everybody. I'm Big Homie Ryan from the Water Cooler. Got my boy to the right, Certified Kid. Got OG Triple Triple. How's you building with the smile? You know what I'm saying? California smile. Then we got to the left. We got the MVP #3. You know what I'm saying? Shooting guard, Villanova State. We got Marie. He's like, I'm just glad. Bullshit, we got too much caffeine in my system. Alright, today's topic is rivalry, healthy versus unhealthy. And the second behind that will be what drives you. So it'll be a two-piece of it. So basically, what motivates you, what drives you, or do you see a rivalry as a way of motivating you to do things? From my perspective, I'm a rivalry type of person. I can sufficiently motivate myself to do things, but when it comes to a competition, or just somebody I admire or respect, or the opposite, I get driven to do more. When it's just, it ain't even gotta be nothing on the line. It's just simply finding a reason to crank it up a notch. Simply, it could be walking faster, paper, job, career, hustle. Just anything that gives me a mental advantage to try to beat that person. Even that person know it or not, that's pretty much how I've got to where I'm pretty much at. I've always put a goal, but I've always attached that goal to an individual. Whether it's their lifestyle, whether it's their work ethic, whether it's their dedication to craft, or anything like that, I use that as an added purpose to get up a little bit early or stay a little bit later to do whatever my craft is. So like, how do y'all feel about that? We're gonna start with certified first.
To an extent, I see where you're coming from with that, but I've gotten to the point and learned that I don't really like basing my success off other people. So, because when you do that, you kind of sort of set yourself up for failure, because you can never live up to somebody else's expectations for what they did. But at the same time, you can still use that as motivation, though, to kind of see like, well, I don't know what they went through, but they got to where they at for wherever they started from, so why I can't do the same. So to an extent, I agree with what you're saying too, but I don't know, it's a lot of different things that come into play with that personally myself. But let me make sure I understand what you asking though. So, as in, like, are we talking about it being healthy and unhealthy, but which one of it drives more? Or are you saying like it's a mixture of both of those together?
Now we can be healthy or unhealthy. Now an example I would use is we do Formula One.
Right.
A lot of people like Lewis Hamilton. He's more respectable, he's more honest, he's more of a clean driver type of guy.
Okay.
He got a healthy relationship with loving Formula One racing. Like, the way he handled things is just grit, grind, determination, but he follows the code.
Right.
But a lot of people love Max Verstappen. It's the newer, younger guy coming up. But he cuts corners, he causes a lot of accidents, he yells, he complains, he drives with, a lot of people quote it's reckless, but he's always winning now.
So what you're saying is he liking the cleanup in his joint. That's
in a way, but more so it's like good versus evil. Like, would you rather your career be like sustainable, respectable, like LeBron type of thing, or do you got that Jordan type of unhealthy rivalry, like driven, like I'm the best period, so it's just unhealthy. Like, you find a way to motivate yourself when it doesn't have to be that toxic. Like, you yell at your teammates, cuss them out.
Mm-hmm.
That's unhealthy, but that's what's driving you because you're just so crazy about the numbers and the legacy.
Passionate about your craft, right? I don't know if it was up to me. Anybody around me, I want them to be uplifted just as much as I am. So, like, that goes back to just like producing success with yourself. So, I mean, if you looking at it in that aspect, then yeah, it will more so be of a healthy thing for me though. Because if you around me personally, if I'm coming up, you coming up with me. It might not be at the same time, It might not be in the same way. It might even take 3 years from now, but at some point, it's not gonna be like I made $1 million and you part of my, you know what I'm saying, my group, and you still sitting where you at. Cause I don't know, it just seems like if you pushing yourself and you motivate yourself to get to where you want to go, most of the time either people around you are gonna follow the blueprint, or you have something that you can do to help them get to where they going. I don't like to kind of be, I guess you could say, the word toxic when it comes to stuff like that, because it doesn't. A lot of negativity never comes back and helps you. Like karma is a thing. Like I believe it is real, and you providing all this toxic mess to other people, you bringing this negativity to other people just so you can uplift yourself to get to where you want to go. I don't really think that helps you in the long run. Even on the mental side, I don't even think that would be okay for real. But I mean, that's what I think about it though. That's how I feel.
Don't you triple willing the way?
I feel as though the unhealthy part about it is that it can become more aggressive as well as arrogant. Some people, I mean, it's good to sometimes have competition in the sense of know where you are, know where you have to go. Because everyone has some type of idol, some type of mentor, some type of somebody that they look up to or they admire. So I think that it's healthy as long as it doesn't become a distraction that causes severe disconnect. That's whether it's with family, whether it's with your friends, co-workers, anything of that nature. If it's not going to align to where it creates a positive impact, then you're doing too much. You're becoming obsessive with it. Sometimes it works in your favor to be that obsessed. Sometimes it doesn't. Either way, to me, life costs you something, irregardless. Whether you do it the unhealthy way or the healthy way, you still won't. It's a cost either way it goes. Whether that's time, energy, whatever, it costs to dream. So I think that for me, I've always been one to go whether you go or not. Always been one, like, I'm not waiting on you. I give you the opportunity. If you decide not to, then that's you. But when my mind is set up to where it's like, okay, now I gotta go for it, I'm not waiting for permission. And I'm not waiting either for togetherness. Because in my mind, it's my dream or it's my goal. So I need to push for myself. Irregardless if there's nobody else there to support me or to be like, yeah, you gotta go, yeah, whatever. Like, no, this is my goal. So I think it can be, like I said, it could be either way. You know, some people like that competitive. It creates a override of drive. I'm very driven, so I'm not competitive in the sense of you will know I'm competitive with you. I'm more of the competitive where I'm quiet. I ain't gonna talk too much. I'm gonna watch everything you do, but I'm not gonna talk too much. And then you have others who they verbalize everything. So you know, oh, they competitive because they say it a lot. So it could be healthy and unhealthy, depending on how you use it in your daily life. But I do think people change over time. So it could have been an unhealthy way. And then as I got older, it got healthy. Because even like you said, Kobe was very competitive.
Yeah, like that.
Super competitive. But it was a good thing. But at the same time, as he got older, you watched him kind of change to a sense of like, dang, I was kind of tripping for a minute, but this is our goal. Like, he learned how to maneuver better with being competitive.
But that was also after like certain things is taken away.
But that's what I'm saying. If there wasn't a consequence, why would he?
I mean, it was. Because a lot of those players became envious of him.
But that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't, though.
And I think
Because some people are only motivated by if I feel that you have a rivalry with me. Like
Yeah.
that pushes me more. And if it wasn't like a real consequence, I don't think that would have stopped him from being who he was. But I also don't think that would have benefited his relationships with people, business, like.
I think the roster change would have changed depending.
Oh yeah,
Cause
without
like,
a doubt.
the roster would have been a lot different.
Without a doubt.
But could you really see a nice version of Kobe? Like,
But that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
want to say
It's-
LeBron version, but like, let's say, who's like a light? Nah, cause people don't like Chris Paul. What if Kobe was like Steph Curry and it's just like a church level, it's a happy guy. Like, how would that Laker team look like? Shaq, Kobe, the rest of the team is like, oh, he's just happy. I don't think they would have enough grit and like anger in them, like built
But they
up.
ain't have nobody else that would be able to take that.
But it just would be weird. Like, imagine you drop 81, he's like, oh yeah, good job. It's like 81 is just barking. He's like, oh, so that's what 81 look like. Okay, that's what high scoring players look like. Like, dang, like I drop a 70 piece and just like, I'm just chilling. Now you think you go to the playground, what if everybody's just shooting, just happy? Drop 80 on you, man, good job.
I mean, but that makes a person an individual. I don't think in any team environment that there's going to be one specific person. You know, one specific person who has excellent leadership skills. They are the go-to, they are the planner, that's them, that's naturally. You're going to have the one that's the jokester. Look at us.
Like Dwight Howard.
We balance each other out though, in the same sense. We're all individual, but we're a team.
Mm-hmm.
You're the jokester. We know you're gonna crack a joke, but that's good. That makes you you, which fits in a team. And be like, okay, he the jokester. He gonna, not be as serious. Like, look, this, and this. That helps with the benefit of the team if that's a team goal. Kobe's was a team goal still, because he's a part of a team. If it was just individual and he just out here just individual, that's different. Had he been nice, he was nice, but I think when you have a certain goal in mind, your mentality is only on one focus. Like there's no wavering. If you're not doing what's gonna add to the team, it would make most people upset. Like you ain't pulling your weight. Why ain't you pulling your weight, man? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
That would irritate most people. If we in the team effort and you lacking, that's a normal reaction. Like, oh, so you just gonna go do your job if they done.
Some people got comfortability too. Like,
Yeah.
In that workplace it don't work, but that's just like Tom Brady. Like, hey, he hard to deal with. What you mean he hard to deal with? Like, hey, his passion for like his job is counteractive. It's unhealthy for a marriage, but it's healthy for his job. Like certain job settings and stuff, I think it's like
Depends.
yeah, it fluctuates your household. I feel like.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you gotta be that type of guy. Like you gotta be a KG at work, but you have to learn how to turn off of you at home. And I think sometimes after being in a certain environment after a while, it just rub off and you just come home like.
That becomes a part of who you
You're
are.
like, hey, why you so great? He's just like, man, because I work and he's like, it's kind of unhealthy. But if I go to work and I be the nice guy, everybody walk over you, and I got another problem. So now I kind of, you start playing tricks in your head to set up walls to validate why you turn into this.
Mm-hmm.
But that person see your true intention. So like sometimes I be feeling bad for some of the NBA and the NFL player wife because they really deal with him from young, and some of them stay all the way to the end. It's like this one, you at the beginning, he like, I just love the game. I don't care if I get injured. I don't care if I'm in the hospital. I just gotta go out to play.
But I don't even think that's just with sports. I think that's with people, period. No matter if you're just a regular person, you have one who could be driven. And I'm gonna actually let Tosh and Kev talk about that one. You have one that's more than the other. That's a balance. It's a relationship. So I think that could be totally different. Tosh, what you got? Because that to me, as far as a relationship, that could go whether you in an NBA or just a regular person every day.
Yeah, it can. Just for me personally, like when I'm at work, to say nicely, like it's like I would say it's definitely unhealthy at work for sure, and that's just because I feel like for one, this generation is a little softer than ones before. And so it's just like, I just feel like it depends on the person or how you was raised or brought up, or even work environments. Because it's just like, I've never been in a work environment where it was just like, well, just for my line of work, per se, where it was a soft, quiet type thing. It was always like competition, cutthroat, like undercutting people, things like that of sort. But when you go home, it is a hard switch. Cause like if I'm at work, I'm working with people where I'm holding you to a higher standard. Like you said, you know the stuff. Like you supposed to be doing this, you supposed to be doing that. And then it's like when I come home, it's just like you gotta remember like you're not at work. So it's just like if you ask me something, I'd be like, you should know this. And it's like, well, I guess you really wouldn't, cause you're not in that environment. So I mean, I feel like it's a hard switch, cause it's like then I'd be looking at you like, are you stupid? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just a hard switch from going from one to the other, from work environment going to the home environment. And I just feel like honestly, it's just something that you gotta work on. Once again, motivating each other, motivating different people, but at the same time, just staying true to yourself. And as far as like the whole, just not waiting on somebody else to do something or whatever, because it's just like if I got something lined up, it's like I'm gonna get it done no matter what. Like I don't need you holding me back or just like, oh, well, maybe just wait a little bit. It's just like, no, if I know that I need to get this done now, like I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. And whether that person looks at it as in like, oh, you should have waited or something, it's just like, nah, because it's like, what if I wait and then I wind up procrastinating, now I'm not doing it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, no, I feel like if I got something that I need to do, whatever my goal is set, like, I'm gonna do it at no cost of, I guess, what one of my friends would say or something like that. So, yeah, you just do you.
Man, I kind of look at this in two different aspects. When it comes to males being in the work field, there is certain things that we as male individuals have to deal with, vice versa as far as females being in the field. Like, I've seen it on too many occasions where it's like a power trip. Like, I'm watching females be incredibly intelligent, they smart, they own their shit, they know what they're doing, but the people around them are not willing to accept the fact that they're better than them. So it becomes one of those points where they become envious of this person. Even if this person is trying to be there, they're trying to help them, they're trying to help them produce to be better, they're still against them because they haven't gotten to the point to where that particular person is. And then, I mean, then even on the male side, it's like, it always ends up becoming a competition. Like, oh, well, I'll do this and do that. Like, what can you do? Like, what are you bringing to the table? And it's just like, it never really has to be that way, but that comes back to the competition aspect of a lot of things, because that's how people be looking at it. Now, me personally, I think of particular things when it comes to situations. Now, it's not the fact that I don't want to complete this goal, but I'm looking at where I am now, and like, can I really get to where I'm trying to go or move to that point with the current situation that's going on? Now, something for me, if I have to put something on the back burner for like a day, I'm like, okay. But then I know in the back of my mind, I gotta keep myself motivated so I don't forget, like, hey, you gotta make sure you get that done the next day.
Right.
Because if you forget about that, that comes back to what she was just talking about, comes to that procrastinating point. So, and even with that entire situation, when you coming from work and you coming home, like I said, with certain things that we as male and female individuals have to deal with, it is hard to turn that switch off when you come home, because Like for us, we can come home and we feel like we in competition with our partner. Like even with your kids might say, "Oh, I like mommy's cooking." Well, why the hell you don't like mine?
Right.
Well, what's wrong with my cooking? What you mean?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Like, "Oh, I like to ride with daddy. I don't want to ride with you." Well, why you don't want to ride in my car? Well, what's wrong with my car? But you're not paying attention to the fact that they're not against you.
Right.
That's just a personal preference for them as a child. But you growing up and dealing with everything that you deal with on a daily basis, and you looking at stuff in a particular way, that switch to turn off. Like, you don't have to defend yourself against them because it's not necessary. But when you in that other environment, it's like you always on defense. You always protecting yourself. You have this wall up because you can't let people think like you're not finna run over me. You gonna respect me at the end of the day, and that's the end of that. Plain and simple. And that comes with anything. That comes with a power trip. That comes with race. That comes with multiple things. I mean, you just have to understand and know how to separate the two. So if that means you gotta go home and you gotta pull out your phone and just do voice memos so you can release that, then that's just what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot take that same type of energy and provide it and push it towards everything else that you deal with and go through in life. That's why most people use like that motivation to work out. Like I just watched this video because this dude was literally this close to dying. And the first thing he said in this video was, he was laughing. He was like, "Dad, I saw you and I kicked your ass." And like for me, like I saved that video. Cause like he took that whole situation for where most people, if they get that close, and back in their mind, they done. There ain't no coming back from that.
Right.
And he used that as a motivation to push himself. He's one of the biggest influencer when it comes to being healthy and working out right now. And he's still pushing past it. He's creating movies, all kind of stuff. So you have to find your own way. You gotta create the path that works for you. It can't be, well, I can't say it can't be. For me personally, it just cannot be that I gotta see it as someone else. Now, I can use you as an influencer
Mm-hmm.
and motivation for me,
Mm-hmm.
even as my partner or a peer or even one of y'all in the group that we have. But just for me personally, that's how I perceive that. I look at that.
So, like me, I know I'm a part of unhealthy. I'm only part of unhealthy when it comes to my father, and it was really just my father.
Mm-hmm.
Because realistically, I seen him as Superman my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was little. Because I didn't know who he really was. Like hanging out, having fun, all the good times, car rides, stuff. Cool. But as you got older, he started showing me the real version of him. Real version of him ain't a pretty person, but he painted a perfect picture. So everybody will follow him because it's easy. So just accept him and have a good time. Because he puts on his persona, life is easy. Just go to work, blah, blah, blah. And you just shit on people. Well, when you don't measure up to his standards, he like to flex on you. So now the tables is turned for me being riding, sitting shotgun, having fun to, oh no, you trying to run me over. You constantly come in the house. It be days he eat every day. No food in the house, he just come and eat. He ain't put no groceries or nothing. I'm like, I'm hungry, like, hey, you better go do something. You go do something. I ate. So it built this drive, it built this hunger. Okay. Okay, so this how I feel with on the other side. So like even to this day, even though he old, he's about to retire, like if I get down, I just think about it. And it's just like a spark. It's like it ain't never gonna go away. So now I'm past his level that he thought he could reach, or he assumed I can only reach here, I'm already past that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like anytime I see him, I will act almost out of character when I see him just to make a purpose and I'm better than him. So that's why I say that's unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will change my whole persona to vacantly and make it abundantly clear that I'm better than him. I don't care what it is. It could be table tennis. We both ain't never played table tennis. I will study it as if it's a college degree. And that's unhealthy, but in a sense that made me understand relationships, friendships, understand poverty, understand what it's like to not be the top pick in the draft. You understand being the undrafted, understand going from the bottom in the travelmans. So since I understand both levels of it, it makes me have a better understanding of characteristics and people around me. It's still an unhealthy rivalry because it takes me out of being happy and being goofy to serious. And it's like a fight or flight scenario. It doesn't have to be. It can literally be a healthy relationship. But just experiencing that and going through it for so long, it's like you wouldn't even know who I was. But then the minute he disappeared out of my sight, it's like, oh, he turned off. It's secure, it's safe, everybody can have fun, boot back on. But it took me understanding myself and understanding what triggers me and understanding that I use that to constantly progress. Now, I can self-motivate myself all day, but sometimes just seeing that person or just seeing somebody just doing good, it don't mean they got the higher route to me. Everybody level up at their own level. Sometimes you ain't meant to be up there with them. You see somebody like, man, he got this, he got that. Hey man, I'm falling behind. Like, why I ain't get there? But then you gotta realize, like, you just ain't there now. You might be there next week or whatever. And it don't mean that that person ain't never hit the bottom. So don't just assume they up there having a good time because you see them. You see most of these people, they be in nice cars. We over here. He got the Maybach, he got this, man. That dude going through poverty, 2, 3 divorces, kids don't love him. All he got is the money. That's it. He ain't got no relationships with people. He not a people person. He's an introvert. He's not an extrovert. He don't know how to make good business decisions. He just got money. So if it was a choice where I'd rather be poor and happy than rich and broke, I'll take poor and happy. Because if I've already survived at the bottom, I can't go worse than the bottom.
Yeah.
But if I've always been rich and I've never seen the bottom, I'm scared to go down. I'm scared to go in the supermarket with other people. I'm scared to not have an end. Now you're on a life support. You're on a life support to money. Money come and go. We down, we ain't got it. But them friendships, them memories, them bonds, them family, friends through generations, that's worth more than diamonds. Even when you dead and gone, these two people are friends that started from your generation. These families have been friends for 4, 5, 6, 7 kids later. Hey, when we cousins? No, we just been neighbors for 40 years.
But you don't know the difference.
But you can't even you would take a bullet for him just like you take a bullet for your grandmother. And that's how valuable, and that's coming with compassion and understanding of who you are as a person. Sometimes you just gotta not think about what you really chasing. Sometimes it sounds good, like, yeah, I wanna chase that. But sometimes, most of the time, most of the experience that we've gotten to, once we hit that goal, we don't even enjoy it that long. We get it, yeah, I did that. 2 months later, we ain't even thinking about it. It took us 6 years to get there. You like, all right, next thing you know, we talking about, man, I should slow down. Travel the world or something. I'm over here chasing money and all this. Now you start having regrets. You start feeling down, but you should be feeling up. You lived so long that you got back to square one. It's like, all right, now you the old dude with the money. Only difference between him and you is you'd have made a lifetime of friends, lifetime decision, lifetime ability to travel. Like, yeah, you got money just like him, so y'all kind of on life support, but you already know how to go back to ramen noodles. You already know how to visit the neighborhood. If you really want motivation, you can go in any neighborhood. You're gonna find somebody doing something that's just not normal. And it's gonna have a good story, or they just determined to get out that situation. So they just do spectacular things. They just got skills that you just never see. So I think the darker the area in the world, it's the brightest stars, but people just scared to go into the dark tunnel. It's just like when you're a kid in the dark. You don't want to go in that closet. But in that closet, got your best outfits in it. The best outfits, shoes you always wanted, items you always cared for. And sometimes that dark place may have covered you and developed you into being the strongest person in your ability. So you just ain't scared of dark. You enjoy it. You enjoy and understand being alone. It's actually a gift compared to it's boring, we ain't turning up, we not kicking it. You're just like, I enjoy myself. I enjoy my thoughts. I enjoy reading. I enjoy just sitting back. You can have a day where you're just sitting and you be like, the world moving, but I ain't. And you're comfortable with that. You're like, all right, the world ain't gonna stop. That don't mean your mind can't. That don't mean you can't just enjoy it. Do something unnormal just to, like, you know what? That's too late, everybody at work. I'm gonna check on auntie or something. So I know she retired. She ain't never got nothing to do. Hey, what you doing? Oh, why'd you come to see me? What's wrong? I know, just bored, you know. I was chilling, thought about it. I only see you on family reunion. Just wanted to check on you. Found out she probably know how to shoot dice and all type of stuff. You in there having fun. Hey, man, y'all know how she used to gangbang? She's talking about a crib walk. You like, what? She don't know how to. No, I'm telling you, you go with her, she got all the stuff. And they don't even know. And that just shows you how available you could be in the present, but not mentally available to your surroundings and the people that got gifts. So truly, the eye is in the beholder. It's just taking it upon yourself to realize what's your ability, what's your skill set, what's my skill set, what is asked of us, what's required from us, but also how can we prosper. So
I feel like at work for me, I could say it's competition a little bit. It's definitely 100% unhealthy, for sure. Just because I work with predominantly men, so I feel like as starting off, I was already at a slight disadvantage. Just because, with me and no shade, but when y'all get around each other sometimes, not all the time, and like depending on who it is, it's always like a pissing competition. And it's just like, oh, I can do this, or I got this, and it's just like, yeah, it's just like, okay, like, starting off it's just like, all right, whatever, but then it's like, y'all just focus on it, it's just like, it's an obsession now. And it's just like, oh my goodness, then when you enter a woman into the situation, you like, oh yeah, that ain't nothing to worry about. But in reality, you're like, nah, like, you need to watch out for real. Like, I mean, I feel like if I'm in competition with anybody, it's myself to be better than who I was yesterday, last week, anything like that. And I feel like that motivates me when I'm at work. And then on top of that, it's just because I am a female and predominantly men environment. So it's just like, that pushes me because it's just like, I'm already the underdog. So it's like, every day that I'm going in there, if I'm excelling over this person, that person, or whatever, that's my motivation. That's like what's keeping me going. And just to, I guess I feel like it could get unhealthy for sure. But just to see the look on their face where it's just like, I'm excelling more than they are. And it's like, but you thought you was hot shit. And it's like, nah, look at you. So I feel like it could get a little unhealthy for sure on the competition side. But at the same time, fuck them. Like, I wouldn't let it stop me. I'm just saying, like, it's just like, all right, I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna go for what I know. I'm like, at the end of the day, it's just like, I mean, as long as it's, cause it's like healthy competition sometimes, where you can look back on it with that person and be like, you remember a couple months ago, we was sitting up here trying to get this done, you didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but we figured it out. And so it's like, you can take that moment to turn around and laugh about it, but definitely I feel like most times when it comes to this subject, it's definitely unhealthy. But you do got your healthy situations.
No.
It's rare, but I feel like they out there.
man, women is the most dangerous killers ever in history. I don't care what nobody say.
If I got something I'm gonna put my mind to, trust me, I'm gonna get it done.
But even that, it's just because I think when it comes to us, it's like, alright, everybody tell us, hey, you biggest, you strongest, you baddest motherfucker ever. Can't nobody be the dudes. So in your head, they pretty much pump you up from birth. In our head, we're not thinking about it. Women develop fashion guys up to a certain age. So you guys are technically better than us, and you guys can tap into our emotional. We don't think about that. Ain't no dude gonna emotionally detach us from our hustle. So it's like when we see another dude, it's like, all right, it can be a piss contest, because we know what dudes do. So like whether you get robbed, jumped, whatever, we knew that was coming. They not expecting that from women. They not expecting the emotional connections. Like all the movies, most of the dudes got with some strippers or something. I'm cool, and then dead. Now you like, how you call them slipping? The same way you catch every dude slipping. Hormones, emotion, letting your guard down because you want to have fun. That is the most dangerous thing to do. If you in the game, I ain't trusting. No, I ain't about to be in no club with you. I ain't. Just magically bad and just come out of the blue kicking it with me. Been in this club 700 times. I ain't pulled it back, but now today, I got big shipments from all baddies and shit. That don't seem a little odd. But to them, no, okay, nobody. I'm big dog. I'm in the streets. They know what it is. Now you did, but naked, look stupid. Now we like, well, next person up. Then when the women come up, it's hard. You can't do nothing. Once they up, we can't use no tricks to get past y'all. We can't seduce y'all. We can't flip it around. We can't. Let me send a male stripper to her. She gonna fall. It's like you can only do what dudes do. Like we gotta be aggressive. We gotta hit hard. We gotta keep doing it. Like all right, we stronger, so we can use the tools that they gave us. Y'all can fabricate and y'all can compartmentalize the way that the break us down and just beat us. But if y'all don't mentally know that, then that's where we win. But once y'all know that, that shit like, dang. So that's why I feel like dudes be just trying to beat up on women like from the jump, because it's like, if she get ahead, that first step is over with. Like even orientation, something that you see like, why she wearing that? Man, I ain't. She wanna have the goods out. She better get judged. She can judge me. I couldn't wear that. They told me button up this and that. Now you making a rivalry out of something because you scared. Like instead of just going with going with what's going on today, just accept it. If she want to be a construction worker and wear 10-inch stilettos, shit, you gonna be stronger than calves, because you ain't about to be building houses in those stilettos. So you might want to figure out how she doing that without the work boots. Oh, I moisturize my feet. Now your feet good. Now my boots don't hurt no more. You would have never do that if you got cool with her. You'd been just like everybody else on the construction. Bad feet, my back, hip. Oh no, I do yoga, this, that, and that. That's why my body don't hurt. She done already figured out how to beat the game in the game. She working with the work. You just working the work that's never gonna end. You can't beat a game that never ends. Like assembly line work and stuff, here, it's no purpose. You gotta do 1 million a day. For what? It's gonna keep coming. And you do just enough so they think you working, you figure out what you gotta do, get the skills you need, and flip job. And flip all these jobs so you got your resume big enough to get the job you really want or the business that you really want. If you want the clientele, work with the enemy. Play by their rules, whatever. Get that, and then go. Like, that's the beauty with the newer generation. They figured out the blueprint, how to get to where they gotta go. The people before us didn't. We just like work into work into work and pray somebody see us. We like, nah. We gonna work with the enemy, figure out the connect, figure out the skills, figure out what they like, what they dislike. Then we know what our group like, so that already give us a little bit of a head start. And then now we got their customers, our customers. And we know how to do this because we worked for you. That's why all these designers are stealing, copying, creating the same thing over and over from another person that ain't even famous. Like this dude I follow right now, he makes all type of clothes. And then clothes that flip into 2-3 different outfits as one. He like, I don't even patent it because they can already steal it. He already put it online so companies can just steal it. He like, that's all you're gonna do anyway is change the color, change the fabric here and there. So what's the point of even dealing with that? I make my money off rare items I make, They want to mass market, cool, because then everybody know I started it. So if you learn how to eat together, you're comfortable. Now, if you let your emotions and rivalry in your head, because you think you better than everybody, you might win for a little bit, but you're gonna lose. Father Time gonna take you out that scenario. So it's like, why even have an envy for women or anybody? Transgender, gay, it don't matter. They can teach you something. It may seem weird and it may seem odd because that's not what we a part of. But if you want to take the time to understand them and learn, it might save you or it might help you out of some situation later. So I ain't never gonna tell nobody to not talk. If you want to talk around me all day about used to be a drug dealer and stuff, I can learn the game from you. And I can understand how to be precautious and not enter the game, or see how people manipulate you into a situation that you're in the game.
I think society has always made it that way. Society has always made, especially our particular culture, has always made it into a competition, no matter what. So I think that mentality never changed because it's from generation to generation. This is what you're supposed to do. They went from us being slaves to everybody was equal. You're all slaves. To then, once we were able to kind of be more free, it was light skin against dark skin in the same household. So light skin was better than dark skin. How? Y'all separated the two against our own people. And then we took on that same mentality though. It wasn't a separation of they just doing that for us to be against each other and not be united. No, we took the mindset and we ran with it. And society never helped that. It made it to be that way. That's why we have so much black on black crime. We didn't used to have that. We was against everybody else. It wasn't us against each other. Now it's, oh, I hate what you got, or I have a jealousy or envious of what you have. If we don't get to the place where we as a culture become more united, and not just verbally, but with action and the mental, we'll never succeed. We're one of the only cultures that never want to really help everybody else. It's a rarity that you find that's a family business. You, and you, we all working. Every other culture pulls everybody in. Whether this is not really what they want to do or not. Hey, you gonna do this so that you have some money in your pocket and learn how to be independent. We're the only culture we're selfish. We don't want to bring nobody in. That creates rivalry in our own culture. Oh no, I'm better than you. Why? We're doing the same job. We're doing the same job. Why we can't lift each other up? Why we can't network? Let me figure out what you're doing. Why you use that? This is what brings our culture down every time. And then we wonder why other races don't respect us enough. We wonder why certain things don't happen enough. Same thing with the Grammys when Jay-Z came and talked about Beyonce never winning Album of the Year. But she got more Grammys than anybody. Culture. We're against everybody else all the time. Doesn't matter how well you is, how many awards you got. He also said at the end of his speech, keep going. This ain't even just about the Grammys. Keep going till they call you what you want them to call you. Because if you don't, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. I ain't see Beyonce say, oh yeah, well, I'm sorry, y'all ain't gonna give me album here, I'm gone. What? She's still going. Oh, let me work on this and get better. Why? She been doing this since she was a kid. But if you don't keep going, you literally put yourself in a situation of not just having a rivalry with other races or other cultures, but within your own. If you're never open to be like, hey, I need correction. Something ain't right. If you don't have those people around you who could be like, they used to say old school, pull your tail coat. If you don't got nobody that can pull you and tell you, hey, you wrong. What you doing? You ain't gonna grow either. You're gonna become a rivalry with the person next to you. who's supposed to be the closest. Because nobody ever tell, hey, you not doing well. What you doing? You what's wrong? Cause you off. If you don't have nobody in your corner, that support system to really help you, this creates the rivalry and the enviousness within our own culture. Because a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people have the opposite. Yeah, you go ahead, you dog, you go do this, you go do. They'll tell you the negative. They don't tell you the positive. Like, hey, you might want to chill for a second, breathe. I know you upset. Don't react that way though. Maneuver different. A lot of people don't have that, especially in our culture. A lot of people don't have that. But you have the next generation too, who hard-headed, who have people but don't listen. Because we've been like that too growing up. Parents tell you something, older people tell you something, don't do that. All right. You ain't heard nothing. You still like, in the back of your mind, it's going in one ear, out the other. You still gonna do it. But you got, and they'll tell you, you gonna learn it the hard way because you keep choosing it. You keep choosing to go down that path. I can't keep trying to help you if you don't want to take guidance. So you also, in that sense, have to learn how to put yourself in a position where you can also take it. You gotta take corrective criticism. You gotta take that, oh, they envious of me. Most of the time people know if that particular person don't like you, they jealous of you, they envious of you, you know that. It be in people's spirit, you feel it. It ain't just, they ain't got to say nothing, you know they don't like you.
That's what we done on man.
But I'm just saying that mentality, like you said, could be healthy and unhealthy at the same time. But the problem is how you react. That's what makes it unhealthy or healthy. It can be completely unhealthy on their part. But if you keep feeding into it, you making it worse. Not better. Because you feeding into it like, yeah, I'm gonna be, yeah, I don't like the music. I don't like it's a lot of people I ain't never liked. But I also don't come in the mentality like, I want to respond that way. I'll respond that way with the closest people that's with me that I can vent to and get it out my system. Because the consequence I would have to take compared to them, 2 different consequences. So am I willing to stake me on this compared to being like, let me respond differently and see what happens?
See, I agree with that, but I don't. And the only reason why I say that is because some people, you gotta tell them to back the fuck up off of you.
Yeah.
Like, just plain and simple. I mean, but in hindsight, there's still a way to say that too, though.
Right.
Without it being like, get out here, Scott. Hey, I'll beat your ass for real.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, just respond differently doesn't mean it make you a punk.
Right.
Or it make you soft in your response. I'm just saying, just respond differently and see how it goes. I'm not saying people can't get checked, because some people need to be. Because otherwise they'll keep doing it because you keep allowing it.
Testing your gaze.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta get in that barbershop dad. Hey my G, I killed him. Have a contagious bicycles, like what?
Oh, that's my problem with this culture in general, though. I feel like with this being Black History Month, it definitely need to be talked about.
Yeah.
Like for the longest, and I know that the biggest thing is because police are supposed to be looked at as to protect and serve.
Right.
But we blew that out of proportion, right?
Yeah.
But why have we not talked about how we literally are creating generations to bring them into gangs to make them a rivalry against another Black dude that live around the corner from them?
Right.
Why are we not talking about how you gotta sell more drugs than this person because that's just the way this is? Like we don't have conversations about how we are literally, we are creating an extinction of our own race.
Absolutely. Without
even realizing that that's what we doing. But we have to talk about, because it's a white person that's killing us and they're a cop, or we're getting attacked by this person outside of here. I mean, I understand it because I've been a part of that situation to where I've had to defend myself with that. But then I also got to defend myself with this dude like, hey, nigga, where you from? Like, bro, I'm just picking up my sister. Like,
I'm from Popeye's Biscuits. You want some?
It's,
10
but
piece.
it's almost like you got it because you got to defend on both sides.
Right.
Every side is a defense mechanism.
right,
Because
exactly.
you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I can't be cool with you, but we the same color.
Yep.
But also, some
Wow.
days,
But you from the 70s and he from the 80s is like, hey, look, you cool, but I'm from over here, bro.
Right.
So look, either we finna catch these hands, or I'm gonna need you to go ahead and
teaching
slide.
them how to squabble, son.
Like, and that, I think that's bad, man. Like, that's terrible.
But I think certain stuff happening because people just have bad days. It's be certain scenarios would never happen. They just had a bad day. This happened, this happened, this happened. This came and so he did. That would have never happened if he was in. It went the right way. There is certain scenarios we gotta take accountability. Us dudes, we do not be wanting to be tough 24/7. So I get a headache sometimes when I gotta sit here and look mad all day. By the time I get home, I'll be tired. So look what happened. Like, couldn't take the armor off today. They talking crazy, so I was quiet. Took the easy route. Now they called me bitch up. Now everybody around me. Now I'm the whole 2 weeks I'm over here. Hey, what you doing? Hey, this. What's wrong with you? No, y'all started this, so now this what happened. Now we all getting rule changes and stuff. Now when I get home, I got massive migraines. Like some dudes just, not honestly every dude, but every now and then come a point where they actually come outside without their armor on, and some bullshit happens, and then they either killed somebody in a cop car or just a scenario that they normally would never be because they know right from wrong. But now that they're in the situation, they can't even say they know right from wrong because now you're getting punished because you knew what was gonna happen. So now you just stuck taking whatever they tell you to say, and everybody else know that you just not that person, but ain't nobody gonna defend you because you just you call it, yeah, we gonna put you in that category. But it's very rare somebody other than a black person do come and be like, no, I know him, he's not dead. He's dealing with, his mother died, then this happened, he lost his house, found out his big mama sleeping with next door neighbor, the kid ain't his, that man head gone, he need therapy. Instead of saying he need therapy, oh no, he's a born killer, he grew up on the Claire, he's black, I know he got a record, but that ain't got a record. He worked at the post office. He ain't never did nothing, but since he had a bad day, he took all his classes for arming himself. He know the law. He just had a day where he said, you know what? I ain't gonna fit into it. And somebody who just normally be on it, happened to poke him too many times, and he just and he slipped up. Them slip ups cost us a lot. This black community, which sucks. But sometimes I feel like some of them courtrooms, like you just gotta be honest. Like, look, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I shot him, this and that, but I had a bad day. Like, if you gonna put me, I'm gonna keep honest with you. I don't want you to feel the type of way if you sentence me, but I had a bad day. This is what I'm trying to do in my life. This, and this. Keep it honest. I'm not even about to take that deal. I had a bad day.
I mean, but just a bad day. That
I would
justify taking somebody's life.
I had a bad day. I learned the law. He pushed me to it, and I snapped. I shouldn't have did it. Now, would it have changed that? Even if you knew right from wrong, and if that dude was just he could be some of them guys that we know in the neighborhood. They just fuck with people, just do it all day, and we like, hey, one day you gonna run to Roma, and that be that day. He'd have ran into the post office, man, with his thing on, off work, and he'd have found out, oh man, his wife, he on the way home, about to pack up, and you come, you bitch ass nigga, you fat, and damn, now you dead. Sometimes being honest, it suck, but I would rather respect it more if you just keep it honest with what happened. Like if you sold a kilo of coke and you got caught with a kilo of coke, I ain't never just.
But the problem with that,
I know I'm about to die either way, but
But the problem, the only thing I would say the problem with that is our culture never gets the benefit of the doubt. So even with us being honest, we have seen so many people be honest in a traffic stop. Honest, telling you what, hey, I have a permit to carry, I do have a gun. They're gone. By honesty. So I get it, but at the same time, this is one of the reasons too, we're very cautious as a culture with everybody. Cause in our mind, we can't trust anybody. It don't matter that you look like me. I don't know if you look like me and we're gonna be cool and you're gonna respect me like I respect you, or some type of beef that I don't even have nothing to do with. You just mad at me. I told, riding the bus, driving literally the bus, I had this catching on both sides, whether it was a man or a woman. I ain't even did nothing to this woman. She a black woman like me. I'm picking you up, and she instantly got an attitude with me. I ain't looked at her crazy, ain't said nothing. I said good morning.
You're providing service
Mad
for
at
her.
But mad at me for no reason. That's what I'm saying. If our culture don't get into, like, really starting to change our thinking about ourselves, that's why the progression of us is slower. We mad at certain man, I can't stand him. Why? What'd he do to you? Nothing.
I ain't gonna lie, there's a couple people work that, and I say the same thing every time. I just be like, you mad because you made your life decision. Well, you ain't doing none of this. I'm just so many jobs that have the skills to even be put in this predicament. You had the same amount of opportunity. You chose to be a worker. I chose to be maintenance. Don't be mad because the little perk that I do got, which is if ain't nothing broke, you just shouldn't get paid. That's the perk with it.
Yeah.
But also the downside is I gotta walk between 3 to 10 miles a day if everything's breaking. You only gotta work in a little spot. You don't have to walk 3 to 10 miles a day. You walk up a flight of steps, your area right here. I walk up a flight of steps, now I'm 4th floor, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 8 hour, bop, 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 bop. And that's every time I walk and talk, we all sitting here waiting. It's in my area, it's his area. Who here today, who not here in my covering. And then we gotta figure out, do we need tools for this, do we not? Do I know how to fix it, am I comfortable fixing it? Because the minute you grab that call, they're gonna keep asking you every 3 minutes. Hey, don't be slow down, how long is it gonna take? How long is it gonna take? I need to tell somebody, I don't know, I'm not even down there yet. Or if I'm down there, I'm trying to diagnose it to make sure I fix it right.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I think he's slow on him answering the calls. See, that's the unluckiness about it.
The only thing I'll say about that though, like since we've been at this, our culture will never elevate or change until we stop having fear of ourselves. Because things happen and we grow up, that's male or female, whatever the situation is, until we stop having the fear of every other culture protects themselves. Indians, Arabians, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, they protect themselves to a very full extent. But when it comes to us, we don't defend ourselves with each other and we just say, forget it. So until we stop having fear of ourselves, we're never gonna elevate or change.
All right, well, we got to the quote of the day. It's Black History Month, so I picked Black influential individual. Everybody probably heard this poem before. I'm not sure if you have, I'm not sure if you haven't. But we're gonna go ahead. It's from Muhammad Ali. It says, friendship is a priceless gift that cannot be bought nor sold, but its value is far greater than a mountain made of gold. For gold is cold and lifeless, it can neither see nor hear. In time of trouble, it's powerless to cheer. It has no ears to listen, no heart to understand. It cannot bring you comfort or reach out a helping hand. So when you ask God for a gift, be thankful if he's seeing not diamonds, pearls, or riches, but the love of a real true friend. Bam. So you need to figure out them friendships you broke up in 08 because you want them slab. You need to go talk to that man. Y'all been beefing since the 30s, all right? Movie Life. You seen the movie Life, don't act like you didn't. Saw your mother die, Clyde, that was 30 years. See, don't do that. That you be Clyde and y'all be in jail forever or outside the hood sipping on Capri Suns. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Go apologize to that man or woman so y'all can get back to being cool. For y'all be the old people in retirement home. Nice pocket watch you got there. Yeah, you got that about 37 years ago. Around with that scar. What you trying to insinuate? Hey, that's my daddy pocket watch. Don't do that. Just love yourself, be safe, and this is the Culture Mix, and we out. Peace.